And welcome back. My name is Sensei-pong to StarCraft 2, the visual novel. I want to apologize about the last episode. I wasn't keeping track of time. Now I am. I'm looking at the clock. It's past 4 o'clock in the morning. Alright, this is actually the time when I'm most awake. But, you know, I'm kind of loopy, and that was probably really loud because I just readjusted my mic. Which was kind of dumb on my part, but either way. It makes for better Let's Plays. That's all I'm coming down to. I don't know. And I was thinking about Cat Muffler just a second ago, and how that kind of destroyed my interest in looking for homebrew visual novels. Man, that game sucked. Such a stupid game. This one is actually pretty decent. It's not bad. Anyways. So where were we? We're laddering at home. Riva's watching us and picking apart every single flaw that we have. Good times. I grumble and turn to queue up another game, yet another thing to focus on, I guess. I thought that Riva's low-key attitude might have made her a little bit lenient with my mistakes, but she's not at all that different from Jet, minus how she delivers her criticism. My next match is on the largest map on the current ladder pool. I'll have a pretty easy time defending my expansions with the way the map's choke points are constructed. Rather than poke and prod with Marines or go for an early aggression, I throw down a quick third base in a far-flung corner of the map shortly I begin my natural expansion. Pulling off this kind of tactic is incredibly that was kind of creepy, incredibly rewarding. If it goes unscouted, I'm practically guaranteed to win. Why are you doing that? Practice something useful. I shift my gaze aside to find Riva uncomfortably close to both me and my monitor. What if I decide to hide an expansion against Bull? Are you going to risk the team on a coin flip? Cancel it and aim for a long game. Riva offers my advice too firm to be called a suggestion, and I find myself moving the mouse to do as instructed. The gaff is going to set me back a fair bit. I gear up for a drawn-out match by focusing on my upgrades and base defense. It's not long before my Protist opponent and I have split the map in half and are jockeying for position. Build more defenses. You can afford a dozen planetary fortresses. Is that really necessary? Mock, your opponent is Protest. Protest players will stop at nothing to cheat an honest Terran out of an earned win. Funny. I typically image balanced whiners as loud and obnoxious in real life. I wonder if she quit playing random out of guilt. Still, I oblige her and cram as many static defense structures as I can into a vital choke point. There is an observer over your army. I squint to find that she's right. Damn, how did I not catch that earlier? With a scan, I pick off the Protest scout and reposition my units. It takes a few minutes to adjust my army composition to one that better suits the extreme late game, and I'm soon ready to clash with my opponent. At this point, StarCraft becomes less about strategy and more about patience. It's important to know when to stalk and when to pounce. I sense an opening at last and rush into my opponent's weak flank. Out of the corner of my eye, I can see Riva tensing up, invested as much as I am in the outcome of the battle. But as I might, my snipes don't connect with the High Templar scattered amongst the Protest army. He drowns my units in Psi Storm and steamrolls down the center of the map, destroying my constructed defenses along the way. Slash! I struggle pointlessly to mount counteroffensive, but the damage is done. I'm forced to tap out a GG, quit the match with a huff. Oh, he controlled his army better than you did. I spin in my chair to face Riva with a frown. If he didn't, I would have won. That was close. Yes, it was. At least you can concede the point to my credit when it's deserved. But damn, that match took a while. As long as go with Mr. Yolen, if not longer. What time did you need to leave? Are you throwing me out? What? No, I'm just saying, if you need to be home at a certain time, let me know. I do not. Okay. Awkward pause. Sheesh. Why does talking to her feel so unnatural? This has to be intentional on her part. I need a break. Your opponents will use every wasted moment to become better than you. Breaks are dangerous. This is a short one. I'm thirsty anyway. We'll be back on the ladder with vengeance afterwards. Thirsty. I see. My fist clenches involuntarily as I reach for a can, nearly forcing me to knock it over. I offer Riva an exhausted look before cracking open my drink. Not to be outdone, I take a poised sip before glancing casually in her direction. So why did you pretend to be a guy on the internet? Now it's Riva's turn to tense up. Her face contorts, eyes glazing over as if scanning her internal database for a scathing comeback. 404, comeback not found. I do no such thing. Details about my private life are just kept so private. Others simply assume. Well, that's all coming to an end if we're going to be on a team, Enoch, isn't it? I suppose. Excited about living in a team house? As long as it's being paid for, yes. Oh, in it for the esports money, eh? Of course. Since primary school, I have dreamed of my own bunk bed and free cup noodles. Riva is refreshingly realistic about pro gamer living conditions. Maybe she can talk some sense into stunt. To be frank, anything is better than life back at home. Oh, trouble with your parents? No, my parents worked hard to give me the opportunities they never had, and for that I will always be grateful. But they live far from Seoul, so I was isolated from my friends for most of my life. You mean your online friends? Yes, but now I have the chance to make my own way. I take pride in the fact that I have turned my skills into a living, no matter how meager. You should be. Most people living off StarCraft do it with the support of a team. You managed to do it on your own. You have the right to be proud. Maybe, but sometimes, even though I am happy with my accomplishments, I lack the confidence to devote more of myself to this game. Really? I wouldn't have expected hearing something like that from you. Why? I don't know. You kind of seem like the resolute type, no regrets, that sort of thing. I'm bad at putting into words my impression of Riva, but she seems to understand what I mean by the nod that she offers. You are correct that I always give my full efforts to my pursuits. However, this is not a matter of regret. Normally, I can be satisfied even in failure if I have done my best. But if the task was not worth working towards in the first place... What do you mean? Esports is like anything else, isn't it? It's a climb to the top. It is, but StarCraft is inherently less valuable than most other things. Art, athletics, education, science, a corporate career. Objectively, my time is better spent on almost anything other than pro gaming. But I do not believe I can truly distinguish myself at any of those things, while it is possible to be a pro gamer. I was born in the right country. I am the correct age. I have enough required talent. Even then, it is not logical for me to spend so much time and effort on what would statistically prove unrewarding, yet I cannot bring myself to turn down the chance to compete. I have the same drive, so I can at least understand that, but you really don't do something you can't be best. You won't do something you can't be the best at? And the way you talk about your motivation, do you even like StarCraft? Oh. No, I don't. She answers bluntly, and then looks away. I have nothing to say to that. High-level StarCraft isn't always fun in a traditional sense of the word, but it sounds like Riva genuinely doesn't enjoy the game. For her to be as good as she is with that holding her back is hard to understand. StarCraft's greatest players have always credited their love of the game as a major factor in their success. How far can she hope to go without that advantage? With silence filling the space between us, Riva takes the opportunity to try out the drink I bought for her. On the first taste, she screws her face up and hurries to set it down. How can he stand something so sugary? I shrug, since I don't have a good answer. It's not like I can explain why something tastes good. Where are you living if not with your parents? Do you know what a Goshiwan is? No way. Really? That's a term that showed up in one of my online lessons. And if I remember correctly, it's an absurdly tiny type of apartment, literally the size of a closet, with a low price to match. I live on the edge of Seoul, so rent is inexpensive. I pay with my winnings from online tournaments. Matches on the last week of every month. If I have not yet hit my quota, can be very stressful. That has been my life since I graduated from high school. Damn, you don't mind the lack of space? I do. I am enjoying the chance to stretch while it lasts. She demonstrates by falling back on my bed and fully extending her legs. I shake my head and try not to laugh. It'll last. The team house will be a nice upgrade for the both of us. Riva sits up and rests her arms on her knees. Break time is over. Return to the ladder. Alright. I spin my chair towards the computer and resume my training. The blue light from the computer monitor shines in Riva's glasses. Her advice, my grumbling, all is said between us. The matches bleed into each other, one foe falling after another. I'm in a protest slaying groove. I don't often find myself on winning streaks on ladder. Part of me wonders if I'm playing this well only to impress her. Riva goes quiet in the middle of a particularly intense game, leaving only the sounds of my keyboard and mouse clicks to mingle with the game sounds blasting from my headphones. I manage to prolong my win streak with a multi-pronged attack that forces my opponent to tap out. With a triumphant grin, I push off the desk and turn. Boom! 3 in a... And I find that Riva has fallen asleep on duty. Well, that explains why she didn't point out that my dropships were delayed. Is it really that late? I rest my hand against my cheek. Should I wake her up and tell her to go home? She looks too peaceful for me to do that in good conscience. I can just sleep on the floor, I guess. I bunch up hoodie on my dresser and makeshift pillow and ease myself into space under my desk. The ground isn't exactly comfortable. With enough shifting around, I find a decent spot. Not long after, my eyelids grow heavy and sleep claims me. Oh, yes, Lee. If this was a dating film, that'd be a little heart moment. I'm on the floor. Why am I on the floor? The trash flow. The trash on my desk is gone and my bed is made. I literally never made my bed. Right, Riva. When I stand, an ache on my back forces me to wince. It's nothing serious, but I must have turned over in my sleep onto a weird angle. A text message from Riva awaits me when I check my phone for the time. I apologize for falling asleep. I will see you later. Terse, as I come to expect from her. I lock my phone's screen and slip it in my pocket. The week ahead is going to be tough. 6 days probably isn't enough time to make any short of serious breakthroughs in terms of my mechanics or game sense, but it's long enough to craft a game plan that might edge out Bolt. My biggest issue of the matchup is that I have no idea what to expect from him. How does a Brood War player go about learning StarCraft 2? Maybe I should ask Jet and Cal. Whatever the case, the team is probably waiting for me at Golden Zonefire. I should hurry over. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Morning, Mock. Morning. An oblivious Stump fails to notice my arrival. He's too focused on his white whale. Where's Jet? Trying to wrangle some of Bolt's replays, I guess. We couldn't find him at the Shock team house yesterday, so I spent the rest of the evening moving out of the crash house. That sounds awkward. You're not wrong. Well, Riva's probably going to be late today. She probably needs to go back home after. I try to fail to stop myself in time. The allure of Pop Safari now fails to hold Stunt's attention. She slept at your place? Did you bang her? No, it wasn't like that at all. We just practiced. Oh, genius move, Mock. She seems pretty... Ow! Okay, sheesh. Psh. I follow up the shoulder punch and pat and take note of Akel's serious expression. Mock, you didn't actually do anything, right? No, I didn't. Good. Don't get involved with your teammates. Why? Seriously? I'm sure you can figure out that one on your own. If you break up, things get awkward. If you get together, things get awkward. If you break up, the team loses a player. It's bad news, even the best case scenario. She came over to watch me ladder. It got late and she fell asleep during a long game, that's all. There's no problem. Being a coach means I get to deal with the fun stuff like telling you who you can and can't date. Stunt's hand slinks from his phone, but Akel snaps for attention before the protest can get back to tapping away at animal bubbles. Enough, Stunt. Time for practice. Mock, you too. Right. By noon, my wrists are sore from a morning of anti-rush defense, without anything specific to practice against. Stunt spammed me with the game after game of proxy gates, cannon rushes, and one base... Goozy! That one snuck up on me. And one base all-ins. I feel prepared for the incredibly unlikely case that Bolt risks the match on something like a 2-gate. Stunt's a one-note protest, but he plays that note pretty damn well. Can you try something else for a change? My brain is starting to fry. Heh, I'm not even warmed up yet. You're only able to defend against these builds because you're expecting them. Obviously, the point of a cheese is to catch the opponent off guard. What's the point of cheesing if it's literally all you can do? You don't understand. Cheesing is an art that I will be the first to master. Seriously though, Ma, you need to prepare for more than just your one base all-ins. Try playing standard for a chance. Fine. Just then, Jet steps through the doors of the Golden Zonefire at a fierce pace, saving me from more of Stunt's abusive builds. But the relief I feel at her arrival shatters when I catch sight of the figure at her heels. Before I can form a question at Bolt's presence, both he and Jet are standing before us. She shoots an annoyed glance at him before speaking. And I believe this is actually a good point to cut off, because there is interest... I keep rubbing my microphone. That's the only bad thing about this headset mic. I like the headset mic because I can waggle my hands in the air. And be glad that I don't have a webcam, because I'm just like... But anywho, this is a good point of tension, and we're going to see how this conversation goes down with Bolt. That'll be interesting. Yeah, that's about it. I don't know. I got nothing. I'm gonna drink my 7-Up. So stay tuned. Here on Pong Plays SC2VN. This is Pong signing out. Don't forget to like and subscribe.